Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Inspo pod with myself, Bethany Irish. Um, Today, I want to talk to you guys about my health journey. So, we're coming to the end of season two. I'm going to talk more about this in season three, which will be coming out later in 2025. Um, but for now, I want to give you guys an insight into what's going on and the start of this journey that I'm embarking on at the moment. So let's get into it. So I don't think I've shared with any of you previously my health condition, and it's nothing major. I mean, apparently there's millions of women in the UK and over the world that have this, so it's not that major. And it's PCOS. So I have PCOS. I've had it as long as I can remember. Um, which is a good question, actually. I don't know when it starts. Are you born with it? Does it develop in puberty? I don't know. Really intriguing. Um, but I've had it as long as I can remember, and I say it's not that much of a big deal, and it isn't. And lots of people have it, but also I don't think enough is done about it. So it should be a bigger deal than it is, if that makes sense. And I feel this with a lot of women's issues. Um, I'm sure some of you out there will agree with me. A lot of women's issues are not addressed properly. Um, And so, yeah, I just want to share with you sort of how I found it and this journey that I've just started in recent months to kind of correct a lot of the symptoms that I have, because I think it might be able to inspire someone or, help someone else that's on the same journey. Or even if you're on a different journey and you're suffering with something else, it could help in some way. So, I, in the last sort of year, well, last few years, I've been struggling with my weight. Um, those of you that have listened to previous episodes will know I hammer the gym. I'm a weights girl. I love lifting weights. And that apparently is really good for PCOS. It's something that they do recommend is weightlifting is really good for your hormones, really good for your body, and really good for weight management. So I always hammer the weights. Love that. Oh, I do a bit of cardio as well when I can. Cardio is not my favorite, but I do still do it because I know how important it is. And I do yoga, I do a bit of Pilates, and just surrounding, like, aside from my PCOS health journey, I also, over the last year and a bit, have been doing therapy for my mental health, strengthening my mental health, strengthening my well-being, getting myself to a place of, happiness, which I've mentioned in previous episodes. I've also been doing physio for the past year for my hips and my upper back. So, well, basically all of my back has been an absolute mess. I think a lot of us suffer with health issues in terms of like back pain and hip pain, and we don't really do anything about that either. So that's been something I've been addressing. Um, so all these things combined, it's astounding to me that I am still struggling with weight loss. My weight has been gradually increasing over the last 10 years. Year by year, it goes up and up and up. And it is gradual, it's not major, but it affects my confidence. It affects how I feel about going to the gym. It affects sort of, my motivation really, because I hammer the gym and then I don't see results. And excuse me. And obviously, I see results in terms of, I hit my personal best and I increase those. My weights, I'm getting stronger. My whole body's strengthening, especially combined with my physio. My body is strengthening day by day, which is amazing. And I love seeing the results in that regard and, seeing my muscles build. But I do find that I struggle with being consistent. And even though I hammer the gym, I can have two weeks of the month where I'm really consistent, and then sort of 2 weeks of the month where I struggle based on my cycle, my hormones, all of that kind of stuff. And that kind of lack of consistency, I think, contributes to not being able to lose weight and also contributes to like feeling very like, self-defeated, like feeling like I can't get anywhere. And feeling like, why have I not got motivation? Like, what's going on? Why am I struggling? So mentally, I think it has an impact as well. And I think a lot of women with PCOS face these things, and it's quite tricky. So I kind of took matters into my own hands a few months ago, and I thought, do you know what? There's something to this, I feel. And I feel like I kind of just did a bit of research and kind of came to the conclusion that PCOS is probably related to the issues that I'm having. And And I kind of convinced myself through a little Google search that I'm insulin resistant. And I know that my half of my family have diabetes, also have PCOS, and have all these kind of things. And so the worry for me is diabetes and my weight and being insulin resistant. My sugar cravings just never stop. And that contributes to then tiredness and low mood and more cravings. And it's all just a cycle, right? So I kind of just took matters into my own hands a few months ago and I thought, you know what, this is all got to be related and I want to get to the bottom of it. And I went to the NHS. You know, I love the NHS. I think they're amazing. I don't want to say anything bad about them because I think the doctors that we have do the best with what they're given. You know, they're not paid well and they do their absolute best and they are all amazing. But I think the system itself can be flawed when it comes to women's health. And in going to the NHS, I kind of outlined all of my symptoms. And the conclusion that was came to, well, that didn't make sense. The conclusion that the doctor came to was that I should be given weight loss tablets. Now, initially, my thought was, oh my God, amazing. Because, you know, Ozempic is a big thing at the moment. I don't believe that everyone should be taking that. I think it's quite dangerous. I think you should take it if you're prescribed it or if you need it. I don't think people should be just be buying weight loss pills online. But then in the same breath, I'm someone that struggles with weight. So that kind of need, that like curiosity is still there. And it's like when you're vulnerable because you've got an issue, like you struggle with your weight, it's so easy to go, oh yeah, I really want that because the desire is there and it's something you're struggling with. And so I knew that it wasn't that easy to get weight loss tablets. And I knew a lot of people that wanted Ozempic were struggling to get it, you know, prescribed and all this kind of thing. So it wasn't that was prescribed to me. It was something called Orlistat. And so that initially there was a little twinge of like excitement of, oh my God, this could be the answer to my prayers. I get to lose weight and I've just been prescribed it so easily. How great. Um, but the tablets are not nice. The side effects are not nice. And they wreak havoc with your gut. And if I'm honest, I took them for a month or two and I didn't really see any results. All I noticed was that they didn't make me feel great. And it meant that my supplements I was taking, a lot of supplements that you take bind to your fat. And these weight loss tablets make you lose fat, or flush the fat out essentially. So I was told, you know, a lot of your supplements and vitamins aren't going to work when you're taking the tablets because they bind to the fat and that's just going out of your body. So therefore, they're not being absorbed properly. So that then has a knock-on effect. So that didn't get anywhere. So the next step in the weight loss, in the not weight loss journey, PCOS journey, is I actually reached out to an expert. And I'm going to do an episode in season 3 surrounding her, hopefully. She might even agree to be a guest. Fingers crossed, because that would be amazing. Um, and I found this expert online and the reviews were amazing. And she's someone that kind of has all the expertise, and the knowledge, but someone that also, you know, deals with a lot of holistic therapy and nutrition. And that really appealed to me because I do feel like sometimes when you go to the doctors, it's just prescription. It's just here's a tablet. And whilst that can be beneficial for certain, you know, conditions or illnesses, I didn't feel that was the route for me. And I wanted to not only just be given something to take or given a solution, but also given an understanding of my body and why it is the way that it is. So rather than just cure me or give me something, tell me why. Tell me what's happening. I want to know. I want to learn. So I paid for this expert and she's incredible. Um, and we basically, her sort of method is to sit down with you and have a chat about what your goals are, what you're struggling with. And then following on from that, you have another chat once you've got a load of information over to her, which is sort of your medical history, your blood test results from the past sort of however long, your family's medical history, your symptoms, and just kind of things like that, really, and a food diary as well. And then she kind of looks at everything and comes back to you with solutions. And I'll be honest, the solutions kind of seem very obvious, like very straightforward, very simple. But for me, it was more the understanding of like, why have you prescribed this? Like, why are you saying eat this? Why are you saying do that? What's the reasoning? And to understand my body better is what really has started to help me. And I've been doing this kind of food plan that she's given me for a few weeks now. And I'll be honest, I haven't seen any results as yet, but I think that's because it was a lot of change for me. So, and I have a lot of cravings. And I've been so busy with work that I didn't want to overload myself and do the full, change everything at once. So for me, it's very gradual. And the plan is a 12-week plan. And but it's something you can then continue with throughout your life. So with that in mind, I wanted to change things gradually so I'm not overwhelming myself. So one thing I've changed is up my protein. I've changed my breakfasts. My breakfasts were the biggest change for me. So I've changed them in the hope that that sets my whole day up right. And then every meal after that, I'm trying to make changes in what I eat. I'm trying to do more yoga. I'm trying to do more breath work. I'm trying to be more self-aware. And there's other things in the plan that I've adopted, but there's still more things to change until I fully get there. But also, it does take your body a while to respond. So I noticed in a lot of the reviews, some people were saying, I hit sort of the 8-week mark or 7-week mark, whatever, and then it's like my body started to respond and started to notice the change. And I then, felt myself change, and noticed a difference in my energy and my libido and my weight and everything like this. So I'm going easy with it. It's only been about a week or two, but I just wanted to share that with you all. If it's something that, anyone thinks they could try. And the nutrition advice is really very simple as well. It's very much protein based, whole foods. It's kind of a diet that you'd recommend to anybody, regardless of PCOS, focusing on whole foods, focusing on balance, introducing foods into your diet and not taking away, which I know we've spoke about in previous episode with Fitness by Bex. It's, you're not restricting. It's not what can I remove, it's what can I add in, what's going to nourish me more. And by adding in protein rich whole foods, and balanced foods, you actually find that you then stop craving the crap. So by default, you're then removing the crap. So rather than just removing the crap and restricting, like, let me take a load of shit out of my diet. No, 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 no. Let's add a load of good shit into your diet, and then you'll stop eating the bad shit over time because your cravings will lower. So it's really simple advice and really simple kind of nutrition advice for anybody. But I've also been advised to take a supplement called Myo. I'm going to try and say this, guys. Myo inositol. Myo inositol, I'm going to go with. And that's a supplement for PCOS. And I'm not saying to go out and take it. Everyone's different. I don't have the medical background to say if you've got PCOS, just go take it because I don't know the answer. But it is something you can just buy online. So it might be worth, if anyone wants to, asking a doctor or a nutritionist or an expert if that's something you should take. And I got mine from Free Soul. I'm not sure how I feel about Free Soul. I've used a couple of their supplements and I don't know if it had an effect or not, but I do love their packaging and I do love their ethos and I love their branding. I'm sucked in by the branding, but I do love the brand. So, fingers crossed that it is working. So that's something that I'm taking to help. And then in addition to this, I also went down the route of seeing a private doctor. So aside from the NHS, I went to see a private doctor along with this nutritionist and expert that I'm seeing. And I wanted to combine the two. And the benefits of that are, although it's expensive, the benefits are, if you can afford it, they can do a lot more than what the NHS is allowed to do because the NHS can only provide you with so many things free of charge. So, as part of my getting this plan together with the expert nutritionist, I kind of had to get a load of blood tests done. So, I got a load of blood tests done through the NHS, but there was a couple that they couldn't do, because they're not allowed to give those for free. They're very specific blood tests that they would only give for a specific illness where they see it as necessary. which is why they don't really give it out just willy-nilly. So I went to private doctor, discussed the whole situation with them. This private doctor was amazing, really, really lovely, in London, based in the Shard. I didn't know they even had doctors in the Shard, but there you go. And she was amazing. And I told her, I've been prescribed this weight loss pill by the previous doctor through the NHS. She was gobsmacked. She couldn't believe they were prescribing that. Um, which, it's a bit of a conflict. I don't know who's right, who's wrong. This isn't to say anybody's wrong and anybody's right, but her opinion was, that's only going to wreak havoc with your gut and make other problems worse. It's not fixing the problem. So through her, I've had a couple of other blood tests done, one for insulin resistance, or insulin levels, one for progesterone, which I can't say. And then the ones I've had through the NHS are sort of testosterone, glucose, and a bunch of other crap. Cortisol. Cortisol is really important because your cortisol levels go up when you're stressed and when your body is dealing with something. So, and then that can also then make you more stressed and have a knock-on effect further. So it's like a vicious cycle, right? So I'm at this point in time waiting for all these blood tests to come back, at which point I will go back to the PCOS expert and discuss these with her, and then she will tweak my plan even further and kind of add things in or, mold things to kind of manage better what's going on in my body, and kind of give me more knowledge, more insight, and more understanding of myself, which is great. So that's where I'm at. I don't have those results yet, so I don't know how this is going to unfold. And I don't have any results yet physically to share. So it's all a work in progress. But one of the things the private doctor also said was there was something they can prescribe for insulin resistance, which a lot of PCOS sufferers are insulin resistant, and it's something that kind of can go hand in hand. And it's something that where we need to be a bit more mindful about our diets, and it sucks. I'm gonna be honest, girls, it fucking sucks because us PCOS ladies have to work 10 times harder to look good and feel good. You know, PCOS sufferers tend to, obviously every case is different, but tend to not be the slim people that you see that can eat anything and everything and it never touches the sides. So when people laugh and joke and you see women saying like, oh, some women inhale a whole cake and they don't put on a pound. I just literally sniff a piece of chocolate and I'm pounds heavier. That's obviously a bit of a joke, people make jokes about this and about weight and that kind of thing, but it probably is down to the fact that they have something like PCOS or insulin resistance or something along those lines that's affecting them. And there's always a reason. So it's really good to have a look into these things, to get a second opinion, to speak to an expert, get an understanding of your body, because I was really getting myself down with how much I was working out, how much I do work out, and how much I do have a healthy diet. Like, I'm convinced I have a healthy diet. I'm so healthy. I'm so conscious of what I eat. I'm so, I don't eat crap. I don't eat takeaways very often. I don't have McDonald's every week. Like, I'm not one of those people. I try and be so healthy. And so to be someone that struggles so badly with their weight when I'm so consistent ish with the gym, as I said earlier, consistent at certain times of the month, but because I hammer it so much and I do all of these things, I'm doing 12,000 steps a day. Like, it was really getting me down, not seeing results. So I think when this is the case, it's really good just to get that expert opinion and to get an understanding of your body, because there could be something underlying that you can get help with. So I think next steps for me going forward, I'm going to get all these blood test results. I'm going to go back to the expert, tweak the plan. I'm then going to go back to the private doctor. She's going to assess my blood test results. We're going to see if there's something I can get for insulin resistance to help with that. And then, yeah, the 12 weeks continues. Um, so I think what I'm going to do is season 3, which is going to come out in the summertime. I'm going to really delve into more of this with you guys and share sort of where I'm at and how it went basically. But I thought starting this journey, it'd be a really good time to do an episode on it and give you guys an insight as to the beginning of the journey and where I'm starting from. And it's really crazy that even just getting a second opinion before you've even made any changes really makes a difference. And I found the same with physio. You know, I was wondering why I was always having hip pain and nothing I did would work. The minute I spoke to a physio expert and got an insight into, your muscles are like this because of this, you've got a lot of, your childhood trauma is held in your muscles and you tense and you do this and you hunch your shoulder and you walk like this and all of these different things that give you an insight. Because you've had that told to you, your consciousness then kind of addresses these things. So even the way I go from seated to standing has now changed because I'm conscious of what I'm doing because of my physio. So it's like everything's improving because I'm aware. So it's the same with this PCOS, right? The minute you get an understanding of your body and you've spoke to someone about it and you start to learn even just a little bit, your awareness grows. And when your awareness grows, you actually do see results, even when you're not actually changing a lot, because your awareness in itself does help to get results. And you're just thinking about it more and you're conscious of it and you understand it. So you're not panicking, you're not getting yourself down. It has such an effect. Um, so yeah, anyone else that's suffering, like if anyone's got PCOS or anything like that, please get in touch with me. I know a few people that are experts in this. Um, I know an amazing girl online that I used to work with who also does this, and she has a club for women with kind of these kind of sort of female issues, if you like. I also have this expert that I'm speaking with, and there's other people I speak to as well. So I'm happy for people to reach out to me and kind of get those contacts, if you like, and I can recommend you and sort of pass on that information. And for anyone to share their stories as well, I would love to interview somebody who has a story to share around this kind of thing, or their experiences in going to doctors and getting help. Because I think it's a really important topic, and I think we're here to like inspire women not only with career and happiness, but to be healthy. What are we without our health? So yeah, so I'm on the road to recovery. No, it's never going to recover, but I'm on the road to a better, healthier life. Everything combined, therapy, physio, PCOS expert, doctors, like it's all going to get resolved and we're going to get to a place where everything's manageable and I understand myself. So it's all good, guys. We're going to be fine. And these things are expensive, I won't lie. That's the only drawback. But I do think when it comes to your health, physical and mental, like you can't put a price on that. So for me, it could be the choice between an extra holiday to Ibiza in the year or getting these things sorted. And like I know which side I lie on, sort all those things out and you can have as many holidays as you want once you're sorted and you'll be happier. So it really is important to invest in your health, absolutely. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Really short episode today, just updating you all and everything and giving you an insight into sort of where I'm at, this health journey that I'm embarking on, my PCOS journey, and yeah, I'll share with you more in the future. Have a great day, guys, for all of you listening. I hope this has helped someone or given someone a little bit of info and a bit of inspiration to maybe start their journey and get some answers. So yeah, I wish you all the best and goodbye.